Hi everyone, welcome. We are in my house today, yay. And we're going to talk about Unit 5, which covers the topic of health and fitness. Um, it's kind of funny because I have this weight bench back here, but I rarely use it. My husband bought it, and I think now we're just putting all our clothes on it. So it's kind of ironic because we're talking about health and fitness today. But you can see what kind of people we are. We have a lot of health equipment in our house. We have a weight bench. We have a stationary bike. We have a push up, not a push up, what do you call it? Pull up bar. So we have a lot of health paraphernalia in our house, which is kind of interesting. Funny story, I actually met my husband at the gym. So if you're looking to meet somebody, you might join the gym. It's a good way to meet people who are interested in exercise. Okay, so enough about me. I've been rambling on. So we're going to talk about Unit 5. And today our contents are we're going to watch and understand a video about the amount of sugar in food and drinks. So, did you know there's a lot of hidden sugar in food? So, yes, there is. And actually, when I started, when I moved to Korea, I didn't realize that there was a lot of sugar in banchan. So, you know, look out for that because that can sneak up on you pretty quick. Um, they use a lot of corn syrup and processed sugars like that. So, and it's also a problem in Western countries as well. So we don't always pay attention to what is in our products. So think about what is in your food. Okay, and the next topic we're going to talk about is supports for an argument. So when you're writing an opinion paper, you're going to try to find the best supports for your arguments. And finally, we will be talking about how to structure an essay. So you might have watched the hamburger writing video. So very similar to that, we're going to talk about how to make an intro, a body, and a conclusion. Okay? Okay, first off, let's watch this video. Be sure to listen carefully and take notes.
Half pounds. That is the average monthly adult consumption of total sugars. Some of it comes naturally from the ingredients in our food, but a proportion is added by manufacturers. Now the labels don't differentiate, so we've done some of our own research. We found an Alpen Trail Bar has 4 teaspoons of sugar, of which almost a third is added. A Nestle Munch Bunch drink has 3 teaspoons of sugar. We found more than 2/3 of that was added. This Quaker Oats So Simple porridge with fruits has 4.5 teaspoons of sugar when made up with milk, and the company won't disclose how much of that is added. Manufacturers say labels are governed by EU rules, not their decisions. But the food industry is under pressure to reduce sugar. Sainsbury's says it's just reformulated some of its juices, but like other supermarkets, it's reluctant to act faster. There is a widespread suspicion that the industry uses so much sugar because it's a cheap ingredient and it makes products palatable.
When you remove any food component that delivers flavour, you've got to do it slowly and gradually so you train the customer's palate to accept that change.
But change is coming, and campaigners are pinning their hopes on tomorrow's official report on sugar.
We would be delighted to see a really good strong recommendation from the Scientific Advisory Board, ideally saying that sugar intake should be reduced to less than 5% of your daily energy intake.
All right, let's have a look at some of the discussion topics. Okay, number 1. What information do you think food manufacturers should have to put on their labels and why? I don't know. I mean, I think it's pretty. I don't think anyone would argue that it is important for food manufacturers to put exactly what is on their labels. And there are a number of reasons why. One is, just, whatever you put into your body, I feel like you should know what is in it. And this, for bigger issues, for example, allergies, that's kind of a big deal. Like, I have a son, he's 3 years old now, but when he was a baby, he was I introduced some dairy product. Dairy product is anything that includes milk. And he got really sick. Like, his face just kind of got swollen, and his eyes got swollen, and everything got red, and he started vomiting and throwing up. And so every time that he ate dairy, this would happen, and I had to take him to the hospital. And luckily he's outgrown that now. He doesn't seem to have any allergy anymore, but it was really scary at that time. But yeah, in Korea they have to, if it's dairy, like ujepum, right? Ujepum. They have to write that in the label. So of course I'm not that great at reading Korean, so sometimes I would buy some snacks and not notice that there was dairy in the product. And yeah, and he got another reaction. So yeah, but in Korea they're doing that. They're writing every ingredient, especially allergy ingredients. A lot of people are allergic to nuts. A lot of people are allergic to dairy. A lot of people are allergic to eggs. I also had like a dairy allergy when I was a baby as well, so I couldn't take any milk. So I had to drink like soy-based milk and things like that. So I never drank like real milk when I was growing up, because I would just get so sick and like throw up, and So I think, yeah, definitely, like, there's a lot of allergies that people have. It's really important that food manufacturers alert people to these. If they don't, they could die. Like, you could die from an allergy if you have a severe allergy. So it's really important. And sugar, yeah, maybe sugar doesn't seem as important, but there are people with like diabetes and things like that, and they should probably control the amount of sugar that they get. And really, sugar is just not really good for you. I love sugar, but it's not really good for you, so you should know what is in your food. And the next question, do you think scientific advice makes a difference to what people choose to eat and drink? As an American, like, I'm from the USA, so, to be honest with you, like, if I think about the average American, they don't really follow, like, the scientific advice that much. I mean, you can see that nowadays, that they're not really into the science as much. So I think, yeah, I don't think that people are going to care that much about the science. I mean, people know that smoking's bad, right? People know that, high cholesterol foods are bad. People know alcohol's bad, but they still are using those things. So I don't think that scientific advice is going to make a huge difference. Like, maybe if somebody really cares about their health, they would follow the scientific advice. But a lot of people if it tastes good or if it makes them feel good, they're fine with that, I think. Okay, at this time, let's have a look at this essay in your book on page 111. So let's talk about that. Okay, and I'll start off by reading. Obesity has become a major problem in many parts of the world. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, in 2016, about 13% of adults, both male and female, were obese. Moreover, the percentage of obese people increased by 300% between 1975 and 2016. Obesity can cause major health problems like heart disease, diabetes, stroke, and breathing problems. Tackling obesity is a big task. Whose responsibility should it be? Although some people say it is up to individuals to manage their own weight, others believe governments should take the lead by making laws designed to help reduce the obesity problem. Okay, so before we move on, what is obesity? I wonder if anyone knows what obesity means. Obesity means that your BMI, your body mass index, is too high. So if you're out of the normal range, then you would be considered obese. Okay, on the one hand, many people insist that individuals are the ones who need to take the major responsibility for controlling their own weight. Supporters of this position have explained how we can do this. First, we can control the size of portions we eat. An average man needs about 2,500 calories per day, while an average woman requires around 2,000. Moreover, we should learn how to eat a balanced diet consisting of a variety of foods in order to maintain a healthy weight. In many Western countries, for example, a typical healthy diet might include 50% fruit and vegetables, 30% carbohydrates, such as bread, rice, potatoes, and pasta, 15% proteins, for example, meat, fish, eggs, and beans, and around 5% dairy products, e.g. milk and cheese. Next, we all need to read the nutritional information on food packaging. This would help us to control our intake of unhealthy ingredients such as sugar and saturated fats, and make intelligent food choices. And finally, each of us should make time to exercise because, as we know, exercise burns calories. On the other hand, some people insist that individual efforts to control obesity often end in failure. They argue that government should take the lead in fighting obesity. They propose a number of measures. First, many countries already have laws requiring nutritional information on packaged foods. Supporters of this law think large restaurant chains should also list calorie counts, as well as the amount of cholesterol on their menus. This information can help customers choose low-calorie, nutritious foods even when they are not cooking at home. Next, many people support a tax on foods which are high in fat and sugar, such as pizza, crisps, chocolates, and sweets. Such a tax would make junk food too expensive for people to buy in large quantities. And finally, many people believe that government should support educational campaign to encourage people to eat a low-calorie, balanced diet. Such campaigns would be similar to the anti-smoking campaigns that have helped reduce the number of smokers all over the world. In conclusion, there are strong arguments for governments and individuals taking increased responsibility for tackling the obesity crisis. In my opinion, both parties have a role to play in dealing with this global problem. Government should pass new laws and provide education to encourage people to choose healthier lifestyles. At the same time, individuals have to make more responsibility for their meal choices and choose healthier foods and smaller portions if we really wish to see an end to the problem of obesity in the future. Individuals and governments must take action. And okay, so we have some interesting questions here that we can chat about. Which is more important for good health, a regular exercise program or a balanced diet, and why? Okay, so based on like what I know, and what I've read, just from my own personal research, like when I've been trying to lose weight, according to what I've read, this is all anecdotal, by the way, so don't do this in your papers. But according to what I've read, you really cannot outrun a bad diet. So you can run and run and run, or get on the treadmill, go swimming, do whatever. But if you're eating really badly, you're not going to see results that quickly. So the fastest way to lose weight is probably through diet. I would say probably, if you had to choose one, I would say a balanced diet would probably be more beneficial to most people. Especially the older you get, you can go to the gym as many times a week as you want, but you're not going to really see results if you don't change your diet. So I think definitely a balanced diet is probably more important, which for me is like the opposite of what I do, because I'm really bad at like eating really healthy foods and keeping a good diet. So personally, I like exercise a lot. Like I love running. I think I told some of you guys that I love running by the Han River. I like riding a bike, even though I'm really, really slow and terrible at it. So I love going, in trails, running on trails or hiking on trails. I love it. But am I in the best health? I don't know. Maybe I don't eat that good though, to be honest. Like I like Coke and Pepsi and things like that, and I really like Samgyeopsal, and I love that, and ramen. I love that kind of food. So probably I would be healthier if I ate a balanced diet, but instead I just love exercising, and I like to eat like crappy food, to be honest. So yeah, that's me. So many people work hard and get a lot of exercise in their jobs, but they are still obese. Why do you think this happens? So I think, diet and exercise, from my research, when I've been trying to lose weight for myself, they are not the most important. Well, no, they are the most important things, but they are not the only factor. So we have other factors going into weight loss. So also getting the proper amount of rest every day, not being stressed out. So how do we stop being stressed out? Well, we could do that through like meditation, different things like that. So we have to take care of our stress level. We have to get enough sleep. We can't, do drugs or alcohol or smoke. Those things might also affect your weight loss or your overall health. So just exercise and diet is like not really the only thing, there are other factors as well. So if somebody has like a really stressful job and they're still getting exercise maybe at their work, but their job is so stressful, they might be gaining weight. Like I heard especially stress makes you get like more stomach fat. So if the more stressed out you are, the more like stomach fat you get around your middle section. So it's like a hormonal thing. So I think, yeah, maybe those people are stressed out. Maybe they're drinking alcohol, doing drugs. Who knows what they're doing? So we don't know. So, yeah. So we have to look at the whole picture, I think. Number 3, do you think that adverts for junk food should be illegal, and why or why not? I don't think, I mean, that seems like a little bit extreme to me. Like junk food, like chips or McDonald's or something. I don't know why make it illegal. That seems so severe to me. But I think it should be restricted a bit for children because children are very impressionable, especially, you know, when you turn on the cartoons like the Disney Channel or, you know, EBS even has a lot of cartoons. And usually the kids, when they see the cartoons and they watch the commercials, the advertisements, they think that product is really good and everything about it is true. Like adults, we can think critically, like we can say, okay, that's just a commercial. They just want to sell us something. But children, they don't have that ability to think at that level. So when they see something, you know, on TV, like about candy or junk food, they might believe it. So there was actually a case that I read about do you know the product Nutella? They got in trouble because they were advertising as like a healthy breakfast food. So, you know, the moms would put the Nutella on the toast and give it to the children in the morning. And of course, it's just chocolate. So there's nothing healthy about it. So that company got in trouble because they were advertising that their product was like a really healthy breakfast food for children. So yeah, I think for adults, like I'm not really bothered by it because I think adults can make their own decisions. When we think about children, we need to be careful about what we advertise to small children. And that's always been an issue in the past. Do you agree that governments should tax products that are bad for our health? Or do you think that people are free to make their own decisions? I disagree with this because I think it's the company's responsibility. I mean, if they're the ones making the product, I don't think people should be punished for the company making that product and selling it. Why don't we tax the company? They're the one with the money, right? Like, why are we going to tax people that they don't have any power? They don't have that much money. Why tax the individual? I say tax the company that is producing the product. Don't tax the citizens. Okay, now let's go to the next topic. This one is supporting an argument. Okay, how do we support an argument? Okay, so here's some ideas. So when we write an opinion essay, we're going to talk about our opinion, and we're also going to talk about the opposite side's opinion. Okay, so you know, maybe you could make a chart like for and against and list some different opinions. Okay, and also be sure to support your arguments with specific details. We talked about this in the past. You have to have facts or examples, reasons, personal experience, etc. And such details will make your argument stronger. Okay, I'm going to skip over that part. Let's go over here. Let's look at page 115. Okay, let's go back and look at paragraph 3 of reading 2 on page 111. And so, in your own words, let's go back and look at the list of arguments that the author gives and the details she uses to support this position. Okay, let's have a look here. So our first argument was many countries already have laws requiring nutritional information on packaged food. Okay, so basically our first argument is that we need to have nutritional information on packaged foods, and we should also require restaurant chains like McDonald's, for example, to list calorie counts. Okay, I think they already do though, so that's, yeah, they're already doing that right now in America. I think in Korea as well. And they also need to list the amount of cholesterol on their menus. Okay, and what's the reason why? So that's going to support our argument. This information can help customers choose low-calorie, nutritious food even when they are not cooking at home. Okay, so in the second argument, we see a signal word here next. Okay, pay attention to those signal words next. Next, many people support a tax on foods which are high in fats and sugar, such as pizza, etc. Okay, so that would be our second argument, and the reason why is that such a tax would make junk food too expensive for people to buy in large quantities. Okay, and her third argument that she's written, finally, many people strongly believe that government should support educational campaigns to encourage people to eat a low-calorie, balanced diet. And such campaigns would be similar to the anti-smoking campaigns. Okay. All right, let's go back